Kasi.
Good day, welcome back. We are busy with the next section, and this is corrections. This is now our 8th section. This is the last one that we are going to do before we're going to go to the stock take, and the corrections is divided into two different types of corrections. You will have a credit note, and we will have stock adjustments. Just please make sure that you understand the difference between the stock adjustments and the stock and when to use a credit note. I'm going to show you on the screen the one. Let me just get that for you. Transition. Okay. So on the screen, you will see the explanation of the corrections. You have your credit notes. Now, credit notes is into two different reasons why you're going to do credit notes is when you have made a mistake, when you captured your stock purchases. So when you make a mistake, you must correct it with a credit note. You will make a credit note of the whole invoice that you have captured, write back the whole invoice, cancel the invoice, and capture that invoice again. Okay, so if you have made a mistake, you have quantity mistakes, or you have price mistakes, or you have item mistakes, then you need to reverse the whole invoice, do a credit note on the whole invoice, and recapture that invoice. Please remember, you can't leave it like that, because the prices will be a really big part of your stock calculation. So make sure that that information is correct. Okay. Then the other reason why you will do a credit note is when you send stock back to the supplier. So if you will receive the invoice with the total of quantities, say for instance they have sent you the incorrect item, on the stock invoice that you have received, you will capture that invoice exactly as you have received it, and then you will let the supplier know this item was incorrect on the invoice and you're not going to keep it. You send that item back, then you will receive a credit note from the supplier, and you will do that credit note on the system. Now, depending on the supplier, they will or just send you a credit note to correct that item, or they will delete that invoice that I have sent you and just send you a new invoice. So just before you capture your invoice, just make sure what path the supplier is going to use to correct that stock. Okay, so please make sure. Just a question in the question bank, live, not on our side. Please make sure that you click on the red dot on the bottom. There's a left on the left hand side. On the bottom there's a live word, and then click on that it shows a red dot. Then you will be live and you will be at the same time span as we are. Okay, so to come back to the credit notes, you are sending items back. Maybe they have sent you in the incorrect schedule of the item, or the strength of the item, or the pack size, or the items is broken and it's open. Then you have to send it back. You will receive a credit note from them. Put the credit note on the system. The credit note will decrease your stock again, your stock levels. Okay. Now from here you have the process. I'm going to show you on the picture. You have your credit note. You're sending back the stock. Send stock back. You have, if it's correct, when you received your supplier invoice, you process the purchase invoice. If it's incorrect, you send back the stock and you create a credit note when you receive the credit note from your supplier, and that will decrease your stock levels. Okay. Now the second correction that you do on your system is stock adjustment. Now stock adjustments, there is 3 main reasons why you will do a stock adjustment. Now stock adjustments will be done for broken stock, expired stock, and lost stock. It's important that you make double sure before you ever do a stock adjustment. Now in the stock take will automatically do a stock adjustment to increase or decrease your stock according to the stock take, and sometimes you will also get a stock adjustment for your transfers between warehouses, and in some cases, there will be reasons why you also will have a stock adjustment. But the three main reasons why you're allowed to do stock adjustments is for broken stock, expired stock, and lost stock. And that three happens in your practice. So only when you have broken the item, or the practitioner have broken the item, the stock was lying too long on your shelf and it has expired, or when you can't explain where that stock went to. So then it will be lost stock. Actually, it's stolen stock. But unfortunately, you don't have proof yet. So you can't say stolen stock, so you say it's lost stock. Okay. And that adjustment will decrease your stock levels. Okay. Then there's one other scenario where you need to make a stock adjustment, but that will only be on your value. If you work with negative stock, then you will have to do sometime a stock re-evaluation on your values of your stock items. And you will say, for instance, in every 2 years, if there were a really big price decrease or increase in that 2 years period, then you will also need to do a stock re-evaluation on your stock. So that is just to assist the system to make sure that the value that you have is correct and there isn't a lot of differences. Now, in cases like your stock quantity is 0, but you still have a little small value, that means your prices has increased or decreased too much over a certain period, and the value of the item that you are selling is not the same value as what you have purchased it, or otherwise that is not the same value over the period, the weighted average then. Okay, so please just make sure sometimes you need to do a stock re-evaluation on your items. But if that happens, please discuss it with GoodX first, that we just investigate if there is some other reasons why your stock values is incorrect. But your stock values will go up and down while the purchase prices go up and down. Okay. I'm going to show you on the system how to do a stock adjustment and a credit note. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, I just want to change my screen. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to do is a credit note. So you go to you go to purchases, stock credit note, new interface. Choose the correct period. When is this credit note supposed to be? Now, hopefully you can do the credit note on the same date as the supplier invoice was done. So if you have made a mistake, it must be on the same day. Otherwise, when they send you the credit note for stock that you have sent it back, you must capture it on that stock credit note's date. Okay. Then you say, okay, you type in the correct date, you choose your supplier. So let's take clicks. You type in the reason. So the reference number is the reason for your credit note. Okay, I'm going to say send back Bernardo, strength incorrect. Okay, so we're sending back the Bernardo because it's a 500 milligrams and we wanted a 250 milligrams. And the supplier only sent it as the credit note for the Bernardo. All of the other information is still correct, so we're going to send back the whole 100 items. We're going to send back to the supplier. So here on the credit note invoice on the credit note screen, you will see the warehouse, you will see the NAPI code, the original amount that was captured, and the original quantity that was captured. Then you have your net amount and your net quantity. Now this means if I do a credit note of 80, I'm only sending back 80 of this. The next time when I log into the credit note screen, the net quantity will show 20. Okay, so it only takes the credit notes that you have done on this item, on this invoice. we'll only take that in consideration. Now your search, you can search here according to the invoice number, to the item. You can type in here Bernardo, for instance. It will show you all the Bernardos, or otherwise when you have your invoice number, you can type in here your invoice number, date, anything that you need to search according to. Now we're going to type in here on the yellow, I want to send back the 100. Please make sure you don't put a minus in front, because then you're going to have plus 200. The system is already written that it will deduct the stock. Okay, so it's just a positive amount. It will show you the value, the rand value. You can only do credit notes on quantities, not rand value. So if when you made a mistake on the price, you have to credit note the whole invoice and then you recapture it, because you cannot adjust the prices. There is too much implication in the system to just be able to adjust a price. So, and if you want to reverse the whole invoice, you make sure you have the correct invoice number and then you put it under everyone. So you type in the quantity tab, type in the quantity tab, type in the quantity tab. The line must be bold before you can go on. Okay, if the line is not turned bold, that means the adjustment will not be done. Okay, if you made a mistake, you can just say 0 tab, 0 tab, 0 tab. So we're just going to write back the Bernardo. And then we say post. Are you sure you want to post the credit note? Yes. And the credit note is done. Now, if we go to stock setup, stock, and we go to medicine, okay, Bernardo. Let's see, where is our Bernardo? I think it was this one. And we go to print and we go to stock item info. Here immediately you can see the credit note was done for minus 100. Now this is just a quick overview, a really nice overview that shows you the opening balance for the whole year, and here it shows you the opening balance for the period that we are in. You can choose there the correct period, and the warehouse. So this one is for all warehouses, or otherwise if you just click on that one, you refresh, you will see the quantity has changed, because then it's only for that specific warehouse. And then, so it shows the opening balance, it shows the sales for that period, the purchases, the credit note, adjustments, and the transfers. You see there's a transfer that we also done. Okay, and then there's our closing balance. So this is a quick way of checking on an item. You also have your calc GP value, and that will show you if you are making a loss or a profit on this item. Okay, now the other way that you can see what happened on this item, you say print stock movement. I just want to show you, and this is only for this specific item. So here you can immediately see the warehouse where the transaction happened in, and there you can see my credit note that I just have done, minus 100, minus 110 rand from clicks, and the user was GoodX. So you can see who the user also was. Okay, so that's our credit note. Now to do a stock adjustment, you have under corrections, you have your stock adjustment single, and you have your stock adjustment list. Now your single you will normally use the single when you only are doing one item or two items, and then you will use your stock adjustment list at the end of the month or at the end of the year, or when you have a big list of items that you need to do stock adjustments on. Now I'm first going to show you the stock adjustment single. You choose the correct period, choose the correct warehouse where this adjustment must be done into. You say okay. You type in the correct date. Here you choose the item. So let's take Bernardo again. Medicine. You can type in the nappy code, or otherwise you type in the item description and you search for it. Okay. Here it shows you just the bins. It shows you the pack size, the cost per unit, it shows you. Then you must say, must the stock get more or must the stock get get less. Okay, so do you want to make the stock more or do you want to make the stock less? So we're going to say less because the stock has expired. With how many items? Now here is a nice, it shows you old closing balance. So this is the balance on the system right now for this warehouse. So we've just logged in with main warehouse and there's minus 12 in the main warehouse. Okay. Then I'm going to adjust 20 of the pills that has expired. You have the cost value and then it shows you the new closing balance. After you have posted this transaction, it's going to make the new balances like this. Okay. Then you have your adjustment code. If you don't know the code, you can tab and we're going to say expired stock. If you are working with a hard copy also, you can put in a reference number if you want to, and then you say post. Yes, the adjustment was posted. Now we go to our item, medicine, Bernardo. You say print, stock item info, and immediately you just see the warehouse. Okay, maybe I've chosen the incorrect one. There, capsules. Here's the correct item. That's why it's important that you only have the correct items active on your system and not all the Bernardos active on your system. Okay. So here you can see immediately the adjustment minus of 20, and that is for the total. And if I only click on warehouse, there is my adjustment minus 20 with the correct balance. Now the balance on this screen is the balance per practice and is not only for the warehouse. Then if you can also here edit your item and see stock levels breakdown, and it will show you how many items do you have in each warehouse. Okay. Then stock correction list. We're going to go to correction, stock adjustment list. You can choose the correct period, choose medicine or materials, warehouse. You choose your adjustment first. So we're going to say it's all the broken stock. And we say okay. You type in a reference number if there is a paper trail that you're going to use. There you can say comment. So we're going to say broken stock. Say for instance, let's say update. Update week 1. So say for instance you're only doing the broken stock weekly, then you can maybe make like this, or depending on how do you want to do your list, because this is a list, okay, that you're adjusting. Okay, then you will choose the item that you need to adjust. So let's take Bernardo again, the capsules, add to batch. You click on add to batch, then on the bottom it will come and lie here. You type in the units that you want to adjust, but in this screen you must type in a minus if you want to make it less. Okay, here it shows you the warehouse quantity as it is right now. Okay, the warehouse that you have logged in. Then you put another item in. Voltaren, add to batch. It's going to tell me if the item is not linked, minus 50. I'm going to type in here paracetamol. Let's say clicks paracetamol, add, and we're going to tell them minus 100 has fallen. Okay, and so you go on and on and on until you have all the items. If you type it with a plus, it's going to make the stock more. Okay, so then we're going to say post this batch. I successfully posted it. Now we're going to go to stock, medicine, Bernardo, capsules, print, stock item info, and there is your stock plus because I took away the minus, and there is your minus one. That's your single one and your multi one. Okay. Is there any questions with the stock corrections or credit notes? If I need to show you some more, please just remember all of this is on the Learning Center. The steps is on the Learning Center. So if there is any questions, please ask it now. Otherwise, we're going to close the corrections and then we're going to go on at 2:30 with the stock take process. Thank you so much.